So despite a love for theme parks, live music, and large cities, after a while, like many of you, I don't do great in large crowds. Cheers. Alright, so MegaCon Orlando, basically the closest thing Orlando has to San Diego Comic-Con. Something like 200,000 people were there last year, so it should be interesting for someone like maybe you or me that over time deals with some fun crowd anxiety. The goal for today is when I was younger, you know, if I started to get anxious in crowds, I would just leave. So today we're going to go over some best practices while you're in large crowds, concerts, festivals in this case, MegaCon. Let's jump right into it. So today is Saturday at the con. There's a Stranger Things panel. There's a Halloween Horror Nights panel. I'm assuming some sort of an announcement. I want to try to stay for as long as possible. I feel like in the past, if I would get too overwhelmed, I would just leave. So I think mentally, like, the goal is to just stay for at least like 3 to 4 hours, and then we'll see how it goes. Let's start checking out the con floor. Holy shit! This is a lot of people. So yeah, off to a great start. Also, like, so much good cosplay, and I'm glad to be in a room with so many of my fellow nerds. But I have no idea who like 90% of these characters are. So when you first get around to the full scope and size of the convention hall, it is loud, it is packed, and at first you're gonna say there's nowhere to just pause and relax. Best advice I could say is get a feel of the absolute size of the convention floor, download the app, and realize there's a lot of great places to kind of seek shelter if you need to from any type of overstimulation. So for me, stepping to the side, kind of getting out to the edges of the con is not as crazy. If you want to be in the madness, walking down the thoroughfares, there's plenty of people there. Also, when you go up to the certain levels where the panels are, on the 200 level, I saw that there's a Zen Den. So they're doing like yoga classes and letting you do coloring. It was super cool, but if you kind of explore the space, you can really see that there's little nooks and crannies that if you need to kind of get away and reset, you can find a place to kind of sit and breathe if you need to. Also, this is for any time you visit a theme park, a major city, in this case, MegaCon, you don't need to do it all, right? So like, have a list. For me, I just had 2 panels that I wanted to see. So knowing where you're going to be going, but also realizing you can't do it all, kind of a really good way to just set that proper expectations so you don't get flustered by trying to pack your schedule too tight. If you've ever felt overwhelmed in a place like this, the first thing that helps for me is knowing that you are not alone. It is very normal to walk into a showroom floor in front of 200,000 people and feel very overwhelmed. To me, it helped to get myself kind of oriented first, so figuring out where everything was in the con. I was very lucky to meet up with different groups of friends, so finding people that can kind of help you calm down if you do get a little panicky. It was really cool too. They had like a whole artist alleyway in one section. Then there's a lot of different vendors, and then kind of on each end of the convention floor, there is celebrities doing autographs. One of the celebrities was Heather Graham. I want to give a special shout out to my wife. My wife does hair and makeup. For you guys that don't know, she actually did Heather Graham's hair and makeup all weekend, which is super cool. So just want to give her a little shout out. Super proud of you, babe. Also, it's HHN season, which is insane. We got our first announcement for HHN 35. So there's going to be a whole battle between Jack the Clown and Oddfellow. If you're into HHN, there's probably 17 other videos of people that are talking about it already, but I'm very excited. Big anniversary year. That announcement was awesome. I'll put a link to it somewhere. Shout out to my friend Angela. I got to hang out with her and her wife at the con, and it was awesome. Angela may not have helped with some of the makeup during the Halloween Horror Nights announcement, so if that is something that you are interested in and maybe getting a little bit more information behind the scenes, I'm gonna link the video there's a box on the screen where we talk about kind of what that profession looks like. So if you want to find out more about professional makeup, click that link. If not, MegaCon was awesome. 10 for 10. Would go again. If you enjoyed what you're seeing, if you learned anything from this, if you were excited for MegaCon, if this was your first MegaCon, leave a comment. If you get panicky in crowds, let me know what you do to deal with anxiety in large crowds at concerts or theme parks or things of that nature. That's it. We'll see you on the next one. This has been another episode of How Did I Get Here?